apparently Gen Zers, which her daughter's a Gen Zer, does not raise their hands.
So they don't get the, woo!
No.
That's a you thing, or your generation.
I'm like, well, how can I be excited with my hands now? Woo!
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
Hi.
Hi.
What were you going to just ask me a second ago, but when I had a technical issue?
Did I wear this to the last podcast? I feel like I kind of get in the same, like I'll wear the same outfits on the same day.
We did have a leopard run for a while.
Oh, well, I'm still in my leopard run.
Well, yes,
you know
you
what's
should
so cool? This is, I love this. I had, she's a friend, also a listener. I took a belly dancing class almost 20 years ago, and she happened to be in the class, and then we just have been connected since then. I've never actually like gone to dinner with her, but when you belly dance with somebody, you
are always connected to that person.
Connected for life.
Yes.
So she tagged me.
That's how I got a couple kids.
That's right. That's right. By rubbing bellies together.
Yeah, 3.
Do you know that's what I used to think when I was a kid? That's how babies were made.
Oh, yeah.
It was that you rubbed bellies together. My cousin Melina told me that. And I think as we were watching Pretty Woman or something, and she's like, do you know how babies are made?
Oh, my God. It's always like that.
It's always rubbing bellies together.
I will never forget.
Oh, my God.
I will never forget the first time that I found something about how the sex happened. And it was... I don't know. I was walking home from school, and I still remember the street that I was on. I don't remember the name of it, but it was right across from Kenmore West High School up in Buffalo. And some kid that I knew, I don't even know if it was a close friend, goes, well, see, what happens is this red ball comes out. And... I don't even know how this red ball...
Is this Dragon Ball Z?
No, you're right. You know, this red ball like
Why is this red ball? Oh, I bet you I know where he got this from.
Like this guy pees a red ball or something. I'm like, what? You know, and then I think I went to my mom. I'm like, oh, Mom, I already know about sex and how it all works. And she goes, oh, yeah? Why don't you tell me about it? And then she corrected me greatly.
Well, the good thing is that's a conversation no parent wants to have. And you... created the opportunity for your mom to get it out of the way.
I was way young, too.
I bet you, I mean, you've got to be dreading that conversation, right?
Last year, actually. What?
You've got to be dreading that. Like when your kids finally like get to that age, which they're nowhere near. Well, at least in my mind, they're nowhere near.
You know what's weird? I'm not dreading having the conversation with Gavin, who's 10, not because it's a boy-girl difference.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
No, I'm not dreading it for that. Gavin is the most literal kid on the planet. And
so you have to tell him the hot dog donuts.
Well, yes.
And he'll be like, wait, you put hot dogs in donuts?
Yeah, no. Yeah. He'd be like, oh, we're never going to Dunkin' or, I don't know, Central Hots again.
Which I think they're closed anyway.
Well, yeah, probably.
M&M Hots.
Yeah, that works. So here's the thing. He will probably be very easy to explain because it's going to be literal. And then he's going to be the type of kid that'll probably do the research. And I'm not talking RedTube.
Oh my gosh. I just imagine him coming to you with a PowerPoint of how the human body works.
He might be that kid.
He probably will know more about the female anatomy than I do. Because I really don't know anything. I just had a text conversation with one of my girlfriends because I said to her, I had to retract what I said because it really sounded terrible after I looked at it. I was like, shoot. So first I said to her, hold on, let me find her. Where is she? Oh, it's right here. She was at the top. I said, girl, you're not pregnant, are you? What was I thinking? Like, what if she was?
What?
And then I said, or are you? I had a dream you were.
Okay, that's safe. That's the one time you can question someone's state of pregnancy. My God.
But it was weird because, well, yes, of course. And we're super close. But the weird thing is, now I pretty much know all of the contraception that all of my girlfriends use, whether it's condoms, birth control, pull and pray, all the above.
Yes.
None at all, whatever. I know this, but the difference with this relationship is she is dating one of my I'm very close with her, but she's dating one of my best friends, and I was friends with him first. So for some reason,
you don't want to know?
I don't ever talk to them about their sex lives because she.
Boy, you dive right in with the dream though of pregnancy.
Well, because if she's pregnant, I want to know if she's pregnant. But I don't know if she's on any kind of birth
you're like
control.
the old Italian grandmother that has the death dream that sees, you've heard of these,
you never know. It's the same as if you dreamt that I died. Let's say you dreamt on a Friday that I died. Wouldn't on Saturday morning you text me and go, "Are you okay?"
Probably not. I don't because
Thanks
I would
a lot.
I would I would realize
okay. Screw you too.
I would realize it was a stupid dream.
No, because what if something was wrong?
I don't believe in any of that bullshit. There's no way the old Italian grandmother has the death dreams. I swear they talked about this on Everybody Loves Raymond years ago.
Probably.
As well as the pregnant dreams. That's all BS.
Oh my God, no. I think that sometimes
you're going to try to make yourself into being that friend. Well, if Allie has the dream about you, then you're pregnant.
It'll come true.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well, fine. If I ever dream that anything goes wrong with you, I'm not texting you.
No, and you know the other reason I wouldn't reach out to you? Because your ass would side button me the first second it started ringing. So you know what?
Wait a second.
I'd be like, I know she's alive. That's fine. She hit the button just like she did 2 days ago when I called to tell her gossip from work because... That's one of the reasons we call each other is we got dirt. Like, the call always starts like this. Oh my God, I have to tell you what so-and-so just did. Well, what happened.
This just happened the other day because there was some gossip here in the office and I got a phone call from our front office person and I picked it up because she's newer and I really like her. I really like her. And so I'm at the gym and I'm like, what's up? And she's like,
gym is loud.
Yeah. And she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm at the gym. And she responded with, okay, call me later. But then Scott called. And did I side button you?
Yes, you always do. Which is how I know you're alive.
I was finishing up, but it did concern me because I got 2 phone calls from the office. So then when I called you, I called you back. I called you back first. I did.
Yes.
I did. And see, I called you back first, and then
I was top of your call log, jackass.
No, it's because I call you first. You're always the first. Mm-hmm. If it was you and Wendy, I'm still going to call you first.
Well, yeah, because she annoys you too.
Are you saying she annoys you?
Well, I didn't say it.
Where did we start? I forgot what we were talking about.
This was about, we started out, you ended up reaching out to a friend who is married to a close friend of yours, and then you talked about how you know about all the contraception all your friends use, which means if you're going to get in a relationship with Allie, like let's say as a fellow girlfriend, you're going to have the rubbers talk.
Yes.
And then let's see.
Rubbers. Wait, hold on. I have to tell you what her response was.
Oh, yeah.
Might not be liked by some, but I said, I had a dream you were pregnant. And she goes, oh my God, what a nightmare.
See, you don't have the power. You don't. That's awesome. What a nightmare. That's awesome. That's a great response.
She's so quick-witted. I would love to have her on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
She has such a unique delivery as well. She definitely has a little girl voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have a deep voice.
Sure.
Hers, I can't even do it because she talks so little, but her delivery is quick.
I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I would not be able to be with someone like that.
I noticed that your girlfriend also has a bit of a deep voice.
Well,
it's not deep. It's just
it's normal. It's normal octave.
I'm not making fun of her, but she kind of talks like this.
A little. She's quieter, so she doesn't. Like you and I are just like, hey, we're out here, and she's quieter, so it might seem like a lower tone.
If she's excited about something, I never know.
Oh, well, no, she's like,
did you?
It's all in her face. You can see the like either a smile or in her eyes. She has smiles, smiley eyes.
Yeah. I don't even see a whole lot of that. It's just like, did you see the peanut butter and jelly pieces?
She does not vocal flare it. Jeez.
There is. Yeah.
No, it's just sort of a tone. She's a monotone. Not monotone. That's not what I meant. She's kind of a
Scott hates me. Monotone voice.
Even keeled, this and that. But as far as the super high pitch, I would. it would be a little Mickey Mousey to me after a while. And I'm not saying she's like that at all. And I'm the personality might be totally different. It's just if I heard that all the time, what does that sound like if they're pissed at you? Yes, like I would struggle with that.
Yeah, it would be ear piercing. It'd be like, oh my gosh, stop.
That, or I don't know. It's
except for when she's apologizing, she will go, sorry. So now,
it's like, where does it come from?
So now, Zach, every time we're like jokingly apologizing to each other, we always do her voice and we go, sorry.
That's so great. Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean the monotone part. Hey, while we're on 6059,
you're in trouble.
Yeah, well, no, because it's tough to describe. She does not show wild flares of emotion like we do.
Right.
Everything. And that's what I meant when I was trying to describe the even.
So, does she ever have a woo girl moment? Like this, because if I'm on vacation, I'm on Seneca Lake. I'm throwing a bachelorette party for my Mickey Mouse voice friend. And then we're cheersing. First we're reuniting for the first time. And I see, oh my God, I haven't seen forever. So what does she do in that case?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I've seen her get excited with her daughter, like over stuff. But
and do
she'll
hands
laugh.
Go up in the air?
She'll have a good. I've never seen the hands in the air from either one of them.
Okay.
But she'll have a good laugh with her daughter about something. Like she has a good time.
Yeah.
I've just not seen that. This might shock you.
Not everyone does.
Not everyone is just like us. You know what I mean?
No, but I have a group of girls. You're right. So my group of girls, the girls I was thinking about, like the Seneca Lake bachelorette party crew that I was thinking of, one of them is super into motorcycles and crystals and Reiki and that. Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that sound to come out.
Then there's another one who is, she's kind of quiet until she has some cocktails. Anyway, the point I'm making is we all have such different personalities, but that moment brings out the, so that's why I was wondering, does she just not ever do that? And the raising of the hands, I understand why her daughter doesn't. That's a millennial thing. I understand that. Apparently, Gen Zers, which her daughter's a Gen Zer, does not raise their hands.
So they don't get the, woo!
No.
That's a you thing, or your generation.
I'm like, how can I be excited with my hands down? Woo!
You look like you'd had 2 amputated arms.
That's Gen Zers getting excited.
Well, all right. So, I don't see, now that I think about it, I don't see a lot of Gen Zers getting that overly huge woo girl moment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't seen enough of them. But like the Crown Jewels, she gets excited. They have a good laugh about something, but it's not God almighty, we're just over the top. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We are just too much for ourselves.
Okay, I have another random question because I laugh so loudly. And I don't know if I've ever heard your girlfriend's laugh. Does she have like a belly laugh?
Oh, she'll get going pretty good on certain things. Yeah. Oh, okay. She has a good laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, she knows how to have a good time.
Because, Zach he doesn't laugh a lot. When I make him laugh, I feel so good about myself.
You're accomplished.
Yes.
No, she laughs at quite a lot of things. I mean,
sometimes I get the pity laugh. And then
do you ever look at him and just go, just don't?
Or he'll give me the laugh, and then he'll give me a laugh, but it's like a, and then he's like that, but he'll go, that was a good one. That was like,
yeah.
Like he will give me my flowers.
Not everything is really one of those, I'm going to spill out huge amounts of laughter. Sometimes you're like, I see what you did.
Yeah,
and
right. My significant other, he's not a big, huge belly laugher kind of person.
That's okay. Everybody's not like us.
Okay. Of course it's okay. But I just was thinking, I don't know if she has a belly laugh.
Well, I know you've seen her laugh and have like a happy expression and all that because she's been in the studio before.
Well, it doesn't mean she's laughing. We're not that funny.
Well, if you're making fun of me, she'll laugh.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's where she'll get going right away.
I'm going to have to observe this.
Oh, you're
more.
going to have to really start making fun of me. All right, listen, on a totally different thing, and this does relate to something with 6059. I'm highly offended about something.
What?
And I've not shared this. I'm only going to do this on the podcast because I know that her mom has people that listen, not because I'm saying shit that I shouldn't, but just they're fans of the show. And I don't want to get back to her because I don't feel like explaining it, but I am a little put off by something. So
let's hear
we've
it.
become the house that will do the hosting.
Yeah.
Her grandparents, 6059, or Tiffany's grandparents, are much older. They're in their 90s. They're not, even though they still have a nice house and the room for it, they're not putting on any sort of, maybe an outdoor, everybody brings
Picnic.
something and you can sit outside when it's summertime.
Their hosting days have been retired.
Yeah, but exactly. Her mom, Tiffany's mother, I don't really think is too terribly interested in hosting anything. Well, my house always has been the hosting house. Plenty of room for it and everything else. Now, we have done Thanksgiving. We have done Christmas. And we were fully expecting to do Easter. And everybody's invited, including the fact that in less than a month ago, Tiffany put out a significant amount of money, didn't get reimbursed a dime, which still pisses me off, but it's not my family. It's not my place to say unless I'm saying it here on the podcast to you guys.
Right. Not your money.
Yeah, not my money. So if she doesn't want to go after it and doesn't want the deadbeat's money back, then that's her problem. Oop, did I say that about her sister? Anyway,
Well, you didn't fully explain. Okay, so she lent
Tiffany
her
paid for the U-Haul, really organized the full moving back of her sister and her 3 boys to the property where her family lives in Hornell. Literally organized the whole thing. Hundreds of dollars for the moving vehicle and everything. Now, mind you, there is some factual information of she was beginning to not feel safe where she was and it needed to get home. Okay. So you deal with it then.
Yeah.
I also know the money's never going to be seen. It'll never, ever be seen. But you know what? Like I said, that's her family. That's her choice to decide to accept that or not. I can't say if I was in the same situation, I wouldn't act exactly the same way if it was one of my brothers or my daughters or whatever the case may be. I don't know. However, not even another family member came to the table to say, we're going to help pitch in for the $400.
That's the weird part. I would think like her mom would give money.
The conversation happened, but it never came true. So, you know what? Fine. Okay. I'm not even going to get started on the cell phone bill because that's another whole thing. And you know what? To air out all the dirty laundry. Again, it's not my family. I'm not going to get into it.
I'll just air out a pair of underwear.
But this is where I'm a little bit put off. So we've done all that. And we fully expected Easter was going to be at the house. Now, of course, we're going to do the ham and all the things with it and have a good time. And since her sister and the boys are now back, let's get everybody out to the house. Now, the grandparents don't come. They're too old. They're just like, we'd like to sit here. Well, now her mother decides.
Somebody can take them leftovers.
Yeah, we always would. Her mother decides this now means that entire group, her youngest sister, because Tiffany has a very young sister who's the same age as her daughter, actually.
Yes, we've talked about that on the show.
Exactly. And so that means her younger sister.
because they were pregnant at the same time. That's hysterical.
That is that is not an everyday occurrence, but it is what it is. So
welcome to the Twin Tears.
You betcha. So anyway, that means her mother has decided that the youngest sister, as well as the middle sister and all the boys, will not be coming for Easter, which now means, and wait till you hear the bullshit. Wait till you hear the bullshit reason. And that means now it'll be my kids, 6059 Tiffany, and it'll be her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend. Smaller group, right? Okay. Would have been fun to have the whole group there. Oh, no, the reason her mother doesn't want to come, and this is where I'm really put off, the weekends are their days to do shopping and do stuff. I said, it's fucking Easter.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let me back that up.
It's flippin' Easter.
Thank you. That is one of the 2 holidays. I shouldn't put a curse word around.
Right?
I'm sorry. So it's
such
freaking Easter.
A religious holiday.
What is going to be open?
Nothing.
Right. You're not going shopping.
There might be grocery stores open till like 2 or something like that.
Okay. Couldn't you get it done
on Saturday?
Couldn't you get it done on Saturday?
Yeah.
I mean, so literally, they have canceled Easter. Now, I get it. Had you told me, what would have been less offensive to me? Had you told me, honestly, we don't feel like doing the almost hour drive one way. Mm-hmm. If you would have said that, I would have said, all right, I get it. I totally get it. Although there's only a few holidays that you have to do it, but I still would get it, No,
does her mom work on Monday?
What?
Does her mom work on Monday?
Oh, I'm sure. And
okay, so she's a working mom. Got it.
Absolutely. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this makes me want to say, fuck you. I'm not throwing any more holidays. I don't want to do, I'm not going to do Christmas and I'm not going to do Thanksgiving and all that stuff because there are 3 big holidays that I expect. If we're the holiday house, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter.
And you know what it is? It's that you want to, I know like for your family growing up, you were really into Thanksgiving. And what you want, and I'm pretty sure this is what you want, is that same emulation of what you had growing up and that family unit and the memories and just having such a great time together. And it's a shame. I totally understand this so much, like more than you know, or more than the audience knows. Scott knows. But anyway, I totally understand this because I also have such a large family and we're very close on the holidays. So to not have that is weird. But anyway, you should say something.
Well, I did to Tiffany. She knows.
I know.
She knows that I'm bothered by it.
I'm so sick of keeping our mouths shut on this stuff.
Honestly,
aren't you?
Here's the thing.
Let's just say it.
I want to just get it out of the way right now because I don't want this perceived the wrong way. I am not pissed at Tiffany. I am not upset with her in any way, shape, or form. I'm not trash talking her family. I am upset at this situation more than anything. I still think her mom's cool and all that stuff and everybody else. It just aggravates me because it's like, now, here's the thing. If there was something about Thanksgiving and Christmas that I had done that bothered them and they're like, we're going to take Easter off, I would also want to know that.
Yes, but me too.
I know I wasn't rolling along on the floor drunk. I know that wasn't happening. I know that I always, all the food and everything was put out and prepared by us and bought by us and everything was all done. Now, I'm not trying to count dollars here.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did you ask them to bring something in there? Okay. So
no, I don't expect that. I got this from my mom. If it's Memorial Day weekend and we're doing some sort of a cookout, I might ask you to, but you don't have to. We did not specifically ask in the past, Thanksgiving or Christmas, for people to bring stuff. People volunteered to bring things. I think your sister brought something and whatever. People volunteered to say, well, we'll bring this. Okay, if you want to volunteer to do that, that's awesome. I just find I think what I'm more insulted about than anything, and it's not that they're not coming. It's the fact that you use the excuse, well, those are our days to do stuff.
There's sometimes
just, I'm sorry, you what?
Right. And you could even go Friday after work as well. Like going grocery
Friday
shopping.
After work, Saturday's wide open.
Yeah.
What if, this is like saying, hey, we're going to get married and our wedding day is going to be May 30th. And then her mother goes, oh, that date doesn't work for me. Pardon?
Right, because I have to go grocery shopping. Like, it's the biggest BS excuse. I don't understand it because there are, like you said, a few days out of the year that you are going to have to rearrange your schedule. We're also really used to rearranging our schedule. That's something that Scott and I have to do a lot in our occupation. So when my schedule gets thrown, it doesn't bother me.
Right.
I'm not one of those people that I'm like, my significant other, he's so regimented on things and he likes to do things certain days, certain ways. I'm like, I don't care if I have to like shower at, I do care if I have to shower at 5 a.m. versus, 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. But the main stuff, like when it comes to main holidays like that, I don't mind if there is a change in schedule. It doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Maybe I'm just more offended because of what reasoning they gave.
Yes.
I think that's what it really comes down to.
And I'm getting to this point in my life that you had said something like, oh, if it was something I did or said or whatever, just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm getting to
I'm
a
a big boy. If
Right.
I made some comment or you don't want me to make a comment about your daughter that we just moved back who makes nothing but wrong choices in life, then
Maybe that's what's bothering her.
Here's how you handle that. I can't believe I'm talking to another adult like this. And I really am. I think this stems from a place of hurt because this is not, like I said, I like her mom. I like their family. They're good people. They're a good time when we get to see them, which is not all that often because they live an hour away. So, it's not like you just cross the street and you're like, oh, hi again, you again. It's, on a little bit more special of occasion. Had her mom been worried that I might have fallen into that lectury kind of a position, because let me tell you, that girl, that middle daughter could use a lot more lecturing than anybody could give.
But that's not something you would do at Easter, is it?
Well, no, but if let's say the subject came up and they were like, well, then you simply say to your daughter, the one that I'm with, and you go, hey, listen, let's make sure we don't bring up so-and-so's horrible life choices again. Okay, if you say that in advance, and I'm not saying I'm ready to throw her under the bus again.
You're saying if it came up.
If it came up, and I've made enough bad choices in my life. Now's your chance to laugh. I've made enough bad choices in my life.
Clearly, that was what I was going to go with.
Yeah. So many.
You don't say.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm quite lucky that I came out where I came out. I'm not talking about bad choices like doing drugs and alcohol or leading a criminal lifestyle. Bad
choices don't always have to do with drugs or alcohol.
Right. I've made enough bad choices that I've also learned a lot, okay? Yeah. And, it's one of those things. Sometimes when somebody's being stupid, I can't necessarily keep my mouth shut. Okay, well, that's where sometimes you have to, because nobody's asking for the opinion. That's right. But if it's in a gathering where it's an open conversation, you're going to get my opinion. Now, all this being said, had that been the issue and they wanted it, I'm going to put it out there now, and I'll tell 6059 this. Well, she'll hear it, and she'll think that I'm bitching about her and her family, and I'm not. I'm bitching about the situation. No, because I have something else to bring it full circle here in a second. I want it said to Tiffany, hey, listen, let's steer clear of the conversation of so-and-so's horrible choices again, or whatever. That would have been fine. I'm going to also tell you why I think this hurts even more. I had mentioned the thing of emulating how it was for you growing up. The other thing that I think, and I think Scott and I are in similar boats on this, is because we had a great family unit growing up, which is so awesome that we were so lucky with that. And we don't have the same family, if anybody's questioning that, because that question comes up sometimes. So we had great family units. Ironically, I know your family incredibly well, but that's about it. But then, we moved to a city where we have no friends, no family. So we have to start from scratch or we have to travel a significant amount of time to get to our friends or family. Like I would have to travel 5 hours to have an Easter with my family. Scott would have to travel 3. So that's not always the easiest when you have to go to work on Monday. It's not. Right. So, that's one way. 3 hours one way, 3 hours another way, 5 hours one way, 5 hours another way. So, so my thing is because not only did we have a great family unit, we move here, we're starting from scratch, we have nothing. Then we get into a family that this is the one. This is the family that you're like, oh, I do feel a part of this family, or that you're going to marry this person, or that this person is very special to you. So for them to kind of put a break into something that you are holding really dear now, I think hurts even more, because I now am I'm starting new traditions, and I'm starting it with this new family. I finally have built up a life in a city where I had no one and nobody and nothing. All holidays were starting from scratch. And now you just literally crapped on my holiday. So that's that. I mean, is that how you're feeling, or am I putting words in your mouth? I don't know. Yeah, to a degree. I think that is part of it. I also keep coming back to, because I really... The excuse. It is the excuse that really gets me first. It's whoa. Thanks for just shitting on the fact that we wanted to put together another really nice get-together, give you a hell of a good meal, and not ask for anything, because why would you do that? That would be horrible. They're supposed to be, maybe not family. Say that. Don't say that. But you know what I'm getting at? That, you're really not going to have any more family functions now. But I guess my thing that comes back is, do I?
Like now I have to beg for your
I'm
your
not going to
time. No.
What happens when we get to things? I mean, let's leave Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July stuff out of the way. Who knows? We might do. It could be out there. In fact, 4th of July we did out there because they have a nice fireworks thing for the city and all that. So we kind of know where it's going to go.
Can I throw in another excuse too?
What? That I'm not going to go to 4th of July because I'm sick of I don't want to be. What do I do?
So this is not applicable for everyone, but we do work a lot of weekends. So when we get an opportunity to have a family function and do things as a family and all together as a unit, I think it makes it even more special because our schedule doesn't always allow this.
Right.
So that also I think is really hurtful because, I know that you have made time to go out there when your schedule is, you've got kids who are in sports and things are so tight. So you have shifted your schedule just to even spend time with them. And they're not giving you that same courtesy and giving you the memories that I think that we have built up in our heads.
I would just like, if it was anything other than I want to use the excuse, that's our day to do stuff and all that. If there was any other reason, guess what? I'm a big boy. You can tell me. Okay?
You can even say,
if you were afraid I was going to open up and say things as true as they may be, but people didn't want to get into it, fine. Then just say, we're going to avoid all this conversation at all times, through it. All right. You know what? That's actually a mature way to handle it. Here's another way to do it too. Is just, I don't know. It really pisses me off.
You've mentioned this a couple times. Does that mean somebody has said something to you?
What about not saying something?
Yeah.
No. But
that's just what you're assuming.
That's what I'm assuming.
You said it, and I was like, maybe somebody has said something.
I would prefer that. That's what I'm saying. If it turns out, because the whole family knows her middle sister makes horrible life choices. This is not a secret. From the grandparents right down to the youngest sister, everybody knows it.
It's always the middle child, isn't it?
Right? So at any rate, everybody knows it. And there have been conversations about what needs to change. But if it was a situation where they were worried it would go there, you have the conversation to say, let's make sure. And her mom should have told Tiffany, we're not going to talk about this. We want to avoid that. You know what? I respect that.
At least on Easter.
Yes. I respect that because you know what? This is a chance to get together, have a good time, have some laughs, eat a great meal.
Have some deviled eggs.
Right. And watch, yes, and wait for the farts. And, then I'm totally good with that. I'm just put off by it. But I have to stress this again because I will tell you, Tiffany's going to come to me and she's going to say, wow, you really talk shit about my family on this podcast. No, it's the situation and the way it was excused. And what really drives me nuts is because I still think highly of her mother. Think her grandparents are great. Even the sister that can't make a good decision to save her life, I still think she's a decent person. I'm just saying, you could have come up with something better than it's our day to shop.
Well, and isn't Tiffany kind of hurt that they're not going to be coming?
She rolls off she lets stuff like that roll off, and
that's funny. As somebody who's a pretty strong personality,
I know, and I give her credit for that.
It's her family.
I give her credit for that, and it is. But I guess my question keeps coming back to this: do I even bother with Thanksgiving and Christmas down the road, or I just keep it our immediate?
Ooh.
I don't want to inconvenience you if you were planning to go out on Thanksgiving at 8:00 and, go to a store that won't even be open.
I say you can do it one more time, but after a second time, then you're just going to be disappointed over and over again. And I'd rather not. And we've even talked to listeners, and this even has been in my own personal family where you don't have, I'm not saying you need to cut off conversations with her mom completely. I'm just saying sometimes it's okay to create those healthy boundaries in families. And so maybe we're not the sit around the table kind of family at holidays anymore. So I say one more time after this, and then if they hurt you, they burn you, that's it.
Okay, that's fair enough. I think that is a fair enough thing.
All right.
I don't really feel better, but I like your point.
This is coming out 2 days after Easter. So I can't wait till the next podcast to hear what, if anything, changed.
Oh, I guarantee you nothing will change, except for the fact that I will have to explain to Tiffany and over that I'm not dogging her family because I I'm afraid that it drifted there, and I don't want it to be that.
You in trouble?
No, but you know what I'm saying.
I know.
Who needs internal turmoil in their home? Nobody does.
No.
And that's why I'm being clear on the fact of saying the situational excuse is bullshit.
So from me not knowing if she laughs or is a woo girl to her family, Tiffany, I'm sorry.
You're the one that, you just don't get to see her that often, do it. She pops in, has lunch with us super quick, and has to go back to work. It's not like we have a ton of time.
I'm not funny in that 30 minutes?
Yeah, well.
Come on.
Get with it. You know what?
Right.
I'm man enough to tell you, your ha-has are just not up to par. Jesus, God. Well, it's been fun.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.